Okay, today we're going to work with the mixed conditionals. Okay? Mixed conditionals. They are not easy at all. Even for me, they have always been a mess. Okay, always, I mean, always. They have always been a mess for me. So I found a video about how to use the mixed conditional and the meaning of the mixed conditionals. Okay, so in that video, maybe that guy explains things better than I do. I'm sure he does it better. Okay, so we can go step by step, checking the information he gives. Because for me, I know how to use them. I can use them properly. But get explaining step by step how to use it or the meaning, for me, it's complicated. And I found this guy, he speaks very slowly. He's very patient. I like the way he explains. I have followed him for some time. And I checked, and yes, he has mixed conditionals. Okay, so let's check. First, let's check it at all, and then we stop part by part, okay? I'm going to upload this to the classroom in case you want to check it later.
Oh, yes, thanks.
Okay, so.
Mixed conditionals. The most common way to mix conditionals is to mix second and third conditionals. Number 1, if I didn't have an interview today, I would have gone out last night. 2, if I hadn't robbed the bank, I wouldn't be in prison now. What's the time idea? Past, present, or future? Sentence 1 goes from present to past, sentence 2 from past to present. And the concept, is it a real possibility? The answer is no. 1 and 2 combine impossible past and imaginary present. Sentence 1 begins with a second conditional, imaginary present, if I didn't have an interview today, and it finishes with I would have gone out last night, third conditional, impossible past. Sentence 2 begins with the third conditional, impossible past, if I hadn't robbed the bank. And it ends with the second conditional, imaginary present, I wouldn't be in prison now. Conditionals see on screen English lesson 21 and lesson 22. Let's look at the form for mixed conditionals. We'll look at the two sentences we've already been studying. Sentence 1. The if clause uses a second conditional with the past simple and present time if I didn't have an interview today. The main clause uses the third conditional, would have plus past participle, past time. I would have gone out last night. And sentence 2. The if clause uses the third conditional and the past perfect with past time, if I hadn't robbed the bank. And the main clause uses a second conditional, would plus infinitive and present time. I wouldn't be in prison now. Let's do the task for mixing second and third conditionals. Join together the if clauses and main clauses below to form mixed conditionals. Here are the answers. Number 1. If I hadn't crashed my car last year, my car insurance would be lower. 2. If you weren't so busy with work, you could have gone on holiday. 3. If I were stronger, I wouldn't have dropped the TV. And 4. If you had studied harder at school, you might be at Harvard now. Let's look at the lesson summary. When do you use mixed conditionals? Usually to combine the second conditional, imaginary present, and the third conditional, impossible past. If you have the second, then third conditional, you would begin with the imaginary present. For example, if I didn't have an interview today, and the second part of the sentence would be impossible past. I would have gone out last night. Third then second, if I hadn't robbed the bank, is impossible past. I wouldn't be in prison now, imaginary present. Thank you, that's all for now.
Okay, so let's go step by step. First of all, the combination, we combine only second and third conditional. Okay, we do not combine zero or first conditional, only the second and the third. Okay, we don't combine any other, and the combinations change. We can use if second, main clause third, or vice versa. If third, main clause second. Okay.
Welcome to On Screen English with Steve Marshall. Lesson 20.
Okay. So
Is
notice,
to mix second.
If I didn't have an interview today, I would have gone out last night. If I hadn't robbed the bank, I wouldn't be in prison now. So here we have second conditional, third conditional, third conditional, second conditional.
Second and third conditionals. Number 1, if I didn't have an interview today, I would have gone out last night. 2, if I hadn't robbed the bank, I wouldn't be in prison now. What's the time idea? Past, present, or future? Sentence 1 goes from present to past, sentence 2 from past to present. And the concept, is it a real possibility? The answer is no. 1 and 2 combine impossible past and imaginary present.
So, the mixed conditionals never talk about reality. They always talk about impossible or imaginary situations, okay? Because we combine the imaginary present with the impossible past and vice versa. So when we use the mixed conditional, we're talking about something completely and utterly unreal, okay? Impossible and unreal. For example, if I lived in Venezuela now, I wouldn't be teaching at ISE. Okay, I wouldn't have been taught teaching at ISE. So I'm not in Venezuela, imaginary present. And of course, it is impossible for me to get a job at ISE if I were in Venezuela. Okay, did you get the idea of this? And why we talk about? Huh?
I think I have the idea, but
it's not easy.
When I want to express, exactly, it's not easy.
Yes, as I said, for example, if I were in Venezuela, I wouldn't have got a job at ISE. Okay, if I were in Venezuela, I wouldn't have got a job at ISE. Okay, so imaginary present, I am not in Venezuela. Impossible past, I wouldn't have got a job at ISE. So both sentences express things that are impossible. I am not in Venezuela, and I have got a job at ISE. Okay? So is that a real possibility? No, it's not a possibility that I am in Venezuela because I live in Ecuador at the present moment. Okay? So my past would be different. Did you get it?
Almost. I have to see the exercise.
Okay. Let's continue.
Sentence 1 begins with a second conditional, imaginary present. If I didn't have an interview today. And it finishes with, I would have gone out last night. Third conditional, impossible past. Sentence 2 begins with the third conditional in possible past, if I hadn't robbed the bank. And it ends with the second conditional, imaginary present. I wouldn't be in prison now.
So, for example, with this case, I can say an example. If I had stayed in Venezuela, I would be working at the university. Okay, let me write it again, please. Yes. Okay, so if I had stayed in Venezuela, I'd work at the university. I didn't stay in Venezuela, so it is impossible for me to work at the university. Okay, this is also impossible situations. I didn't stay in Venezuela, impossible past. And I'm not working at the university, imaginary present. Okay, did you get the idea for the second kind of mixed conditional?
The idea is clear.
The
But
structure is not easy. Yes, actually, that's why I tell you, I have to find a video to help me explaining it better. Sorry. Okay.
Past and imaginary present.
Because I know how to use them, but putting in pieces for explaining is not easy. Okay, so let's go.
Sentence 1 begins with a second conditional, imaginary present. If I didn't have an interview today. And it finishes with
We have already seen this. La, 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 la. Okay.
To see more on second and third conditionals, see on screen English lesson 21 and lesson 22. Let's look at the form for mixed conditionals. We'll look at the two sentences we've already been studying. Sentence 1. The if clause uses a second conditional with the past simple and present time, if I didn't have an interview today. The main clause uses the third conditional, would have plus past participle, past time. I would have gone out last night. And sentence 2. The if clause uses the third conditional and the past perfect with past time, if I hadn't robbed the bank. And the main clause uses a second conditional, would plus infinitive and present time. I wouldn't be in prison now.
So, if I hadn't crashed my car last year.
Let's do the task for mixing second and third conditionals. Join together the if clauses and main clauses below to form mixed conditionals. Here are the answers. Number 1, if I hadn't crashed my car last year, my car insurance would be lower.
Okay, if I hadn't crashed my car last year, my car insurance would be lower. What does it mean? What does it mean for you, Guillermo? What happened in the past? Crashed the car or didn't crash the car?
he crashed the car.
He crashed the car. Can that
Yeah.
be changed?
No, it can
No.
be changed.
It can be changed. What happens in the present?
That he has to pay. He has to pay a higher insurance.
He has to pay a lot of money for insurance, for his car's insurance. Can we change that?
It can be changed.
It can be changed, okay? Because it's established. That's why we use the mixed conditional. We cannot change the circumstances in the past, and the consequence of those circumstances cannot be changed either. Let's go to the second example.
2. If you weren't so busy with work, you could have gone on holiday.
Okay. What's the condition of that person now?
He is busy.
That person is busy.
He is
And in the
busy with work.
past, was he or she busy? In the past, was that person busy?
In the past,
Yes, that
Yeah,
person
yeah.
is busy now,
busy.
and he or she was busy in the past. Okay, can we change that circumstance? Can we erase the obligation that person had?
No, because he
No. No, it is impossible.
can go.
Okay,
So
so
he or she can go.
yes. So that person, did that person go on holiday or not?
No, he's not
No.
going.
That person didn't go on holiday. Can we change that circumstance?
No.
No. That's why we use the mixed conditional. There was a condition in the past that cannot be changed, that causes a consequence in the past or in the present that can also be changed.
3. If I was stronger, I wouldn't have dropped the TV. And
Okay.
4.
What's that person condition? Is that person weak or strong?
The person is weak.
The person is weak. What happened with the TV?
I think he dropped, broke. the TV.
It dropped and broke. Okay, it fell off and broke. Is that person, can we change the condition of that person from weak to strong in the past? Because nowadays that person is weak.
Yeah.
No, we
Only
cannot
going
change.
to the gym.
Only by going to the gym in the future. But in the past and in the present is a weak person. So what happened with the TV? Can we rewind the time and make the TV not to fall?
Let me change this.
It is
It's
impossible.
It's broken now.
It's broken. So again, there is no way we can change the things that happened, because they happened in the past, had a consequence in the present, and as past cannot be changed, present cannot be changed.
If you had studied harder at school, you might be at Harvard now.
Okay, what happened with this person?
No,
If you had studied harder at school, you might be at Harvard now.
that means that it was a lazy person, a lazy student. And now,
And
I
consequently,
suppose that he or she doesn't have a job, a good job.
yes, no, in this case, they're talking about studies at Harvard.
The university.
Yes, at
Harvard.
the university.
Yeah.
University,
It's
Harvard University.
He didn't get to a good university.
Okay. Can we make him study hard the last time?
No, at this time, no.
Okay, that's why we use the mixed conditional, because it is impossible to return to the past and make him study more. In consequence, in the present, he didn't get to the university he wanted, in this case, Harvard.
Let's look at the lesson summary. When do you use mixed conditionals? Usually to combine the second conditional, imaginary present, and the third conditional, impossible past. If you have the second, then third conditional, you would begin with the imaginary present.
So notice the one we use the most is imaginary present, impossible past, second conditional, and then third conditional. This is impossible in the present, and this was impossible in the past. So as the past was impossible, the consequences in the present are unchangeable. And vice versa. If it didn't happen in the past, the consequences in the present wouldn't be possible either. So you might say, okay, miss, nice, good. Okay, so what do we actually use the mixed conditionals for? Okay, what do we actually use them for? What is the real usage? Because you say, okay, first condition, zero conditional, it is a fact. First conditional, possible. Second conditional, less probable or impossible, present or future. Third conditional, everything happened in the past. So what is the real usage of the mixed conditional? Okay.
For imaginary situation.
Yes. A mixed conditional is used for expressing a hypothetical situation in the past, present, or future. So the mixed conditionals are used just to talk about unreal or impossible facts, actually. Okay? So how do we combine third and second? If in past perfect, the main clause in present conditional, would, wouldn't, etc. We talk about the present result of a past condition. If I had listened to your advice, I wouldn't be in this mess. So I didn't listen, and I am in the mess. If he had checked the map, he wouldn't be lost. He didn't check the map, so he's lost. If I had gone to university, I would be a doctor now. He didn't go to the university, so he's not a doctor now. And the other way, past result of a present or continuing condition. If I were a good cook, I would have invited them to dinner. I am not a good cook, so I don't invite them. If you weren't such a poor dancer, you would have got a job in the chorus line in that musical. You are a poor dancer, so you didn't get, you don't get, and you won't get a job in the chorus line in the musical. He won't get that job. He didn't get it, he doesn't get it, and he won't get it. Okay? Questions about the mixed conditionals up to now?
No.
No problem? Okay.
Explanation is clear, but I have to use it in samples.
So, sorry.
Clear. The explanation was clear.
Okay. So let me share. So we can say that when we mix conditionals, okay, third conditional, second conditional, third conditional in if, second conditional in the sentence, if in past perfect, second with would. And if we made a combination second, third, we have if in past simple, second with would have and the past participle. Okay. Basically, the important is actually maybe to memorize the combination and then to know when, in which circumstances you use the mixed conditionals. Okay? Questions up to this moment? I told you it's not easy. It's not easy even for me.
No.
I know them, but explaining them is another matter. And I have to be honest. For me, explaining mixed conditionals have always been a mess. Always. Okay, so let's get okay. Let's go to mixed conditionals. So mixed conditional exercises. Okay. me a second.
All the students are leaving in this moment.
Let's go to the mixed conditionals. If I were you, I wouldn't have done it. Yes, this is the one. Let me share with you. Ta-da! Mixed conditionals.
Oh, mhm. Let's see.
Okay. Let me put it larger so you can see it better. Okay, this is better. Number one. If I hadn't fought for a relationship, we
Mm.
wouldn't have been, wouldn't, or wouldn't be together now. The first one is third conditional. The second one,
We weren't. We weren't together.
I would be happier if I, yes, when she asked me to marry her.
I had said.
I had said. If you weren't such a jerk, stupid, you to yesterday's party.
They would have invited you to yesterday party.
Okay, if you and Bob, as I told you, we wouldn't be lost now.
If you had taken,
If you had taken,
yeah,
if I didn't love you, I last year.
we wouldn't have married.
Okay. If I had more time, you last night.
We would have called.
Would have called.
Mm.
If you that job, you would be miserable now.
If you had accepted. Last one. If you'd accepted.
You'd accepted. I'm afraid of flying. If I afraid of flying, we'd have traveled by plane.
I wouldn't have been.
If I wouldn't have been afraid of flying, we'd have traveled by plane. Number 9, if you that's car without permission last night, you might be in trouble.
If you taken.
If you had taken. You wouldn't have this job if you for the interview.
Hadn't prepared.
Hadn't prepared. Okay.
Oh, okay.
If I hadn't fought for a relationship, we weren't together now. In this sentence, we're talking about hypothetical condition happening in the past. Third conditional with a present result. Second conditional. We use the past perfect in the if clause, third conditional, and would, could, might in the main clause, second conditional. Because
In
we're
this
talking
case,
about,
would.
yes,
Would have been.
wouldn't
Would have
be.
been.
Wouldn't be together now.
Wouldn't be together now.
The condition is now, hypothetical present result.
So wouldn't have been.
No, wouldn't
This is
be,
a
wouldn't be.
wouldn't be.
Remember, we combine third conditional and
Preconditional with the
with the second conditional.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Remember, the combination is third and second or second and third.
Yeah. Really, yeah.
Okay, third and second is would, could, might.
Yeah. Minus 3, yes.
Okay. This is okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay. I'm afraid of flying. Okay, if I afraid of flying, we had traveled by plane. This is third conditional. Okay, this is conditional 3. So we combine here with conditional 2. If I wasn't, or if I weren't afraid of flying, we'd have traveled by plane. Okay, do you remember or do you know the difference between second conditional if I was and second conditional if I were? Do you know the difference? Do you remember the
If I were.
difference?
No. It would be good if you remind me that part.
Second conditional
No, that.
to be. Okay. A situation that already if plus was or wasn't describes a situation that already happened in the past. And if plus were or weren't a completely unreal, impossible situation in the past. In this case, he says, I'm afraid of flying. If I wasn't afraid of flying, here means that he flew before and he was afraid before.
Yeah. Where is the
Okay.
imaginary? Unreal.
Yes,
No.
it's not
That's a
unreal, but a
difference.
situation that already happened in the past. For example, if I was afraid of flying, I travel by bus. Okay, this means that sorry, let me put it better. What does it mean? I flew before. And I felt afraid. Okay, but if in the second conditional says, if Mary were your friend, she'd invited you. What does this mean? that Mary was never your friend. Okay, so what does this mean?
It's in the first sentence. If I was afraid of flying, I would, no? The
Yes, I'd travel. In this case, if Mary were your friend, it means she was never your friend. Okay, that's the difference in the second conditional for using was or were. Okay,
what happened if I write, if I wasn't afraid of flying? I would,
it means that you had flown before and you didn't feel afraid. If I weren't afraid of flying, you are afraid of flying, but you didn't do that before. I mean, let me get the, because here it is a little bit difficult to write. So we use wait. I don't know why sometimes it doesn't get the right command. Okay. Second conditional. Was happened before. Where impossible or didn't happen before. So what was the example you gave me?
no, only the D was missing in the, were afraid of flying.
If I were afraid of flying, it means okay. This person had never been on a plane. Okay, if I say, if I were afraid of flying means that this person has never been on a plane before, but he has the idea of flying is scareful. But if I say, if I was afraid of flying, this person had flown before and felt scared. Okay? That's why it's second condition, if I were you, it is impossible for me to be you. If I was in your position, it is possible that I had been in the same situation before. Did you get the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back to the exercise. And the others are okay. Let's go to page number 2. Remember, second, third, third, second. He says he's your friend, but he didn't help you. If he were your friend, but he was not your friend before, he's not your friend now. He, you. Second conditional, third conditional.
He had helped you.
Had helped? Remember, the combination is second, third, or third, second. What do you have here? Second or third conditional?
Second.
Second. So what we have to do next? Third. And third is A, B, C, or D?
Would have. Would have.
Number 2. I feel fine because I took the medicine. If I the medicine, I would still be in pain.
We have. I haven't taken.
I'm not patient and I didn't wait for them. If I were more patient, it means I wasn't patient before. I am not patient now. If I were more patient,
Would have waited.
would have waited.
Would have.
I didn't know that you were there because I'm not a psychic. That you were there if I were a psychic. I'm not a psychic. So
Would have known.
I would have known. Okay, number 5, I'm where I am today because you helped me. Where I am today if you hadn't helped me.
I wouldn't be.
Wouldn't be or wouldn't have been? Wouldn't be. Okay. Let's go to the next page. Next page. Next page. Okay. I should be your coach. If your coach, you would have won many more trophies.
I were.
Number 7, if I were ill, I to work yesterday.
Wouldn't have done.
If he hadn't been wearing a helmet, he dead now. Dead now?
Might be that.
Might be dead now. I didn't understand his letter because I don't speak Russian. If I Russian, I would have understood his letter.
If I were Russian, I would have understood.
If I would
were.
speak Russian, no, would speak Russian, would have spoken Russian, spoke Russian, had spoken Russian.
But if I had spoken.
I'm tired because I went to bed late. If I hadn't gone to bed late, I tired now.
I wouldn't
Wouldn't be.
Wouldn't be.
9 out of 10. Okay,
Which one?
okay, okay. I noticed which one was wrong. If I Russian, I would have understood. This is third conditional. Okay, second conditional, second, third, if I spoke Russian. Okay, remember the
If-
combination is
if
second conditional, third conditional. Would have understood, third conditional. The combination is always the same. Second, third, third, second. Here we have would have understood. Okay, third conditional. At the beginning, second conditional. Let's go to the last exercise. Don't worry, next week we keep on working on these conditionals. Okay? Complete these mixed conditional sentences with the verb in brackets. Use past simple, past perfect, would, infinitive, or would have plus past participle. If you so much, you wouldn't be feeling sick now. Wouldn't be feeling sick is second conditional. So here we have first condition, third conditional. Okay, so how can I put it like not eat with the third
If
conditional?
you hadn't eaten,
So much you wouldn't be feeling sick now. Number 2, if we had money, we moved to a bigger house years ago.
we would move.
If I were you, I differently. Your behavior was unacceptable.
Would have, but would have, oh,
Would have acted.
would have.
Would have acted. 4, we are second now. We top of the league if we hadn't lost our last match.
We would be.
If he weren't so lazy, he finished the assignment when it was due.
We would have finished.
I would be equally proud of you if you not achieved so many things in your life.
If you hadn't achieved,
If I didn't work so hard, I not get the job I have.
I wouldn't have got.
If he had done anything wrong, we know it by now.
We would have known.
It by now. He'll still be here if you not scare him away. He'd still be here if you
Hadn't scared.
hadn't scared. I would have a better job if I to go to the university.
I had done.
Had gone,
Okay, I would have.
had gone to the
I
university.
would have.
Perfect. You got
Mm.
it.
Incredible.
It's not incredible. It's a matter of practice. So next week, we're going to keep on practicing mixed conditionals. Still
Yeah.
practice some mixed conditional before we proceed to the next topic, okay? So I imagine, I guess you are on holidays too. at school.
Yeah, yeah.
Thursday and Fridays.
Today we work, tomorrow we are on holiday.
Okay. So hope you have a nice holiday. Rest a lot.
Oh,
Meet your friends.
lot of exam to check. That's the
Well,
bad-
but you have
the
4
bad thing.
days. You have 4 days. You can take it easy.
Okay.
So see you next week, Guillermo.
Okay, see
Thanks
you,
for
Miss
your
Alejandra.
time. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your holiday too.
Thank you.